I'm Tom Johnson, Thomas Johnson Antique Furniture Restoration in Gorham, Maine. I hope you had a chance to watch the first part of this restoration in my video, Restoring an Antique Lady's Writing Desk. In that video, I repaired the stubborn lid supports, I re-glued the broken gallery, and I spent a lot of time removing and re-gluing the wobbly legs. So let's pick up the action now with a solidly glued up desk that still needs to be touched up and the finish restored. And if you like my videos, please hit the like button and subscribe. Okay, we've got a few issues with the finish here. I think I'm going to start though with this damage to the front. These are all applied carvings. I guess they're applied, they look great. And this area here has been scraped and there's some wood missing. But it's so little, I don't know if I can actually replace it with putty or anything. I'm going to try sanding this this damaged area with some very fine paper, some 220, and just see if I can smooth it out. This is actually, these areas are smoothing up better than I even thought they would. So I'm going to try putting a light stain on these areas. So I'm going to take some perfect brown dye stain, thin it out with alcohol. So I've thinned this out like 2/3 alcohol, 1/3 stain, somewhat imprecise. That's what I'm worried about, it being too dark. You know, because these areas are not perfectly smooth. That's not bad. I think it'll work. It's drying a little lighter than it looks at first, so I think it's going to work. And maybe I'll even try these spots on either side where it hits the support. Okay, I'm going to let all that dry for a while. I'm going to rig up a bench so we can turn it on its side. I want to start with this side. This is by far the worst area. So the first step always is to clean. So I'm going to take a nice rag and just spritz a little crud cutter on it and try patting it. Boy, that looks great. This area may need a little of that stain, obviously. This cleaner, being water-based, should take care of this hide glue. I may have to just soak it a little bit more with plain water. I'll stick with the plain water here just to get this glue off. Okay, back to the crud cutter. Boy, I'm really happy about the way that this cleaned up. It looked really good. I'm going to put some stain in these raw areas and take care of this touch-up, and then do the same treatment to the rest of the desk. Those flush cut saws, the teeth are so fine. I think this one should do better. I got to fill those gaps. Stain's a little light, but that's good. I'll just go back over it a couple times. That's the nice thing about dye stains, is that you can, go back and apply more stain and make the area darker and darker. Bring it in to where you want it. Because the worst thing that could happen is that your area get too dark. And then if these are still a little too light, I can tone them a bit with the aerosol toner. This side of the cabinet's a lot better than the other side. I mean, as the entire piece is better than the other side. But I'll go over it with the cleaner, just the same. Very little touch-up on this side. Taking these gallery supports off reminds me I glued the long piece together. I've still got to get the glue off of that and touch it up. I'm hoping you can see the little watermarks all throughout here and how they're going away as I pad with the cleaner. This brush is just slightly damp with the cleaner. I'm leaving both discussions on for now. And what you see here is the original color, except it is awfully red. But I noticed the same thing about the drawers inside. I got to clean up, this is the top piece of the gallery, I got to clean it up. It's got lots of glue on it, and I might have to fill these cracks a little bit. I just use plain water to get the glue off. I have to work it a little bit. These are the two side pieces of the gallery. Oh, I still got to take care of my my touch-up here. I was thinking that I might just wax this, but I'm a little concerned about this area. This was pretty raw. I think I'll French polish it a little bit with some lubricite. And while I'm at it, I might as well do this side. I just feel a little bit better about sealing this in a bit before I wax it. You know, I'm not trying to like French polish this up to a high sheen or anything. Just that this side was so raw, I was afraid the wax might just soak right into it. And so I'm hoping that this, well, I know this will help seal it off a bit. All right, let's give it a try. All right, I'm gonna go eat lunch and then come back and buff this. Okay, let's see how it buffs up. Yeah, it seems to, it's got a nice sheen to it now. I wouldn't mind if the sheen was a little higher. I may let this dry until tomorrow and wax it again. See if I can bring the sheen up a bit, but it looks good, especially compared to what it looked like starting off. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed to wax the rest of it. Oh, I almost forgot. I wanted those raw areas that I stained, I wanted to put a little shellac on them and seal them off. All right, I'll just continue waxing the rest of the desk while that dries. There's a small defect here. Sanding it very lightly with a little 220. A little stain. Seal it with some shellac. And a piece of yellow tape, so I don't forget. The interior is in good shape, but it has tons of minor scratches and dings all over it. I'm going to wipe it out with a damp rag, and then I'm going to use Old English scratch cover on it. I've left the scratch cover on for an hour or so, and now I'll wipe it out with a paper towel. I'll go over it with the same Gilboy's wax, just with a rag. I already used steel wool on it. Oh, I don't want to forget about our gallery pieces here. This crack I just want to fill in with this wax stick rather. And I'll use the same Gilboy's wax. Well, there it is, a really nice ladies' writing desk, probably from the early part of the 20th century. Solid mahogany. If you remember, when it came in, the gallery was broken. The lid wouldn't open at all. And this reminds me, I didn't repair the lock, and I'm going to find just a dummy key to fit in there as a pull. This side was really bad shape, but it cleaned up and waxed up fine. And of course, the legs, it was really wobbly, and they re-glued 3 of the legs. 1 was okay. I think it looks pretty good.